messages a day.
Yeah.
About the election, about Kamala, and this. Oh my gosh! I was telling Susan, every time my phone goes off, I try to look because if it's a message from her or something, you know, or one of you guys or something. Gosh.
I keep getting these texts once in a while saying that I owe money for use like tolls from the turnpike. Well, I never use the turnpike, so what the heck, you know? And you know, if you owe them money, if you actually incur any charges from tolls, you know, they're going to send you a letter in the mail, not text messages.
I think I got something like my phone, something about it.
So
our records show that you have unpaid taxes. It's like, the more I thought about it, I thought, man, if I get on the phone with somebody like that, they're going to ask for this information, that information, and it's going to be a scam, and they're going to try, you know.
It's like a phishing scam. They get you to give out your personal information, and then they start opening credit cards or other accounts in your name.
A couple customers have said something already too. About they were getting some messages about packages or something like you were saying. It's like, nah, I don't think we wouldn't do that.
Just gotta use your common sense, you know.
Yeah, you do.
A lot of people fall for this stuff.
Don't just jump right away. Yeah.
Don't just overreact to it right away.
Yeah.
I've seen so much of that stuff over the years. It's like I just kind of know what the red flags are that pop up right away. Know what to look for, you know.
Yeah,
like,
you're more familiar than I am. Yeah.
Yep. There's a mail carrier.
Oh my gosh, the CRV.
Yeah,
just like I sitting on the other side. Oh my God. Did you get one of them things to put on your steering wheel? Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, you have a board in the middle to sit on.
Man, that works. That really does. Oh my gosh, back memories.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I mean, on a very big route. So hopefully it's more mileage than it is.
I would think out here
you'll never get stuck. Everything in the CRV.
This route, well, I would love to have. You know, got all these nice views, and you don't have 100,000 stops to make. You know,
I often thought I'd rather have more mileage and less stuff.
Yeah, a lot less packages to deal with. It'd be so freaking nice.
Can't believe how easy it used to be compared to now.
Yeah.
Didn't look at it like that then, but now
all the volume we have with packages and mails now.
I tell people I used to get everything in a little CRV.
Yeah.
I used to average like 3 tubs of little stuff. Now I might average 6 to 8. Well, it's usually over 6 now every day.
That's probably not even during Christmas time.
That's not counting all the little stuff I case in.
Yeah.
This is a little bit bigger. That doesn't make sense to case in. Oh gosh.
That guy's probably not making nearly as much as you are, but he's not probably as overwhelmed.
I forget how much time you get per mile. 12 minutes or something. Time-wise, you know.
Yeah.
And they have all this formula.
How they come up, how they calculate your pay and stuff.
Right.
So
the mail count now is nothing like it. It used to be so much more to it.
Oh yeah.
Now it's basically all you're doing is going wherever you find in your DPS, like how much stuff goes in the throwback case, like UTF and this, that, and the other. Or that's not yours, or that's out of town, that's not yours. And you just count that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They have all the numbers for the DPS totals.
Right.
And your scans will track how many packages, how many of those, and so forth.
Yeah, because each scan you get something counts towards your pay or something, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly how it works, you know.
And now, because of the GPS, it's gonna tell them how many you had to actually take to the door.
Yeah.
But you get the footage then.
I remember seeing them have that little stick with the wheel counting it counts the steps and stuff.
Yeah, it's basically dismounts. I mean, not the packages that you take to the door, but
it's getting. Sometimes it comes up and even tells me it's potential spam. Sometimes.
Yeah, mine does that. Some of the calls it says potential spam. Yeah, it didn't used to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that it does.
I'm surprised your phone does that. Yeah, because it's not even a smartphone.
Oh, it does. I
didn't think they did that.
I hit wrong buttons and stuff. It's like all this stuff can come up, but I don't know if I could actually use some of that stuff. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even know how to begin to, but I don't know if you could even.
Well, I have the option, like I'm sure Bradley does too on his phone, but to report it as spam too. So it kind of learns, certain things. It's kind of like AI, I guess, in a way that if you keep marking certain things, messages as spam, it'll automatically flag it in the future.
Right. Well, I remember years ago when you get your name on that do not call list.
Yeah, that was.
But I think he did away. I haven't heard anything about that for years.
Half the time you still get phone calls.
Well, then I really wasn't hardly ever getting anything. And now, last how many years, it's like every day I get at least a couple probably that I don't have a clue who it is. And they don't leave a message.
People were still getting a lot of calls even though they were on.
Well, they did. A lot of people.
It didn't really.
It seemed like it helped me, I thought, but a lot of people would say they would still,
That's why it's like I've always, for the longest time, if I don't know the number and I'm not expecting a call, I don't pick up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my time.
Yeah.
The ones like you said, if they can't be bothered with leaving voicemail or text message, it's not good.
Yeah, that's one of the new ones. Looks like a Ferrari.
Oh my God, I know.
Lamborghini.
Yeah, look at that cobalt, man.
Cobalt. It's like mine.
Yeah, usually it's not somebody from the office, but the one supervisor that was there and then left, and now she's back. I have no clue why. She just said it wasn't really her choice, but she's back. She was trying to contact me. Of course, I don't have her number on my phone, so her name didn't come up. And then she texted me and it's like, oh, okay, I guess that call I just got a couple minutes ago was her. So they're trying to find out, said about sending somebody out to help me or whatever. Know how much I left or whatever, but anyhow. I did put sometimes I'll put their number in, like Christine, because she's been there for quite a while now. And she's the one that normally stays late. And it's easier to get a hold of her quicker through her cell phone than calling the office. They don't pick up as quick. So. But then if she called me or whatever, that's right, I want to text her later or call her. Make sure. I told her I could work tomorrow. Popped in my head that let her know that. She's like, oh, I'm glad you said that because I could, they could really use me, I'm sure. I just want to double check though.
Sharp turn here. This is one of the worst ones here. Right, you don't want to fly through here.
Pappy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I still remember ending up in that field when I used to have part of Fairview. My LV back end swung around, and it's like one of them. Kind of like this, but not nearly as long as the turn.
Snakes around.
And it has a sign, slippery on wet. It was a little wet. And I must have been going a little too fast, I guess, for that rear wheel drive. And
yeah, and it's skinny little tires that those things have.
My back end swung around, and I was, next thing I know, I'm in the field.
Yeah.
And you're natural instinct is like hit the brake and stop. I thought, no, it popped in my head, it's a little muddy, keep it moving. You might get stuck in the field.
Yeah, you don't want to get stuck.
So I kept it moving and came out and that farmhouse and whoever's house that is, which wasn't actually part of what I had on Fairview, but I had to pass it and went down their little driveway and back out onto the fair. Thankfully, I didn't get stuck.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like, this could be embarrassing if I got to call the office and say, I was going a little too fast.
Don't take much for them things to get stuck.
Right.
You got no weight.
Exactly.
Back in.
So thankfully that worked out. I don't think anybody even saw me that I know of.
Well, you might have tore up the yard a little bit, but
yeah, I tried to be as careful as I could. I didn't have to go through much of where it was grass, but just a little. But I tried to go as easy as I could. I wouldn't worry about the field, of course. But gosh. And the one time I CRV right along Grandview, close to right down from Kids Kingdom, almost straight across.
Yeah.
They were doing something that had the road closed, and I needed to get down. I still had that development across from McDonald and South.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, you know what? I got four-wheel drive. If I keep enough speed up, I could go through the end of this farmer's field here and go around them. Well, I got stuck.
Oh, jeez.
I went to one customer and I asked if they had boards or something. I eventually got myself out. Tried to put it under the wheels. Didn't work. Didn't quite work. It's a little too wet and muddy.
Yeah.
I would think too, I wonder how much of a pain in the butt it was to make this road. This part of the road. That had to be much more of a challenge than what was about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, you're right, yeah. Yeah.
A lot of work.
Guarantee it. Just imagine if it's like this, and they have to.
I mean, they had, like, way back in the settlers' days, I mean, the Indians had trails, this probably follows part of the, trails that they had set up back then and stuff, and eventually,
Could be.
the more developed our country became, and eventually turned into an actual road, and then once the automobile came around, and
Like with the trains, when they linked up, the mountainous areas, they'd have to do some blasting and stuff to
oh yeah, I mean, that's what they
figure out the best route, but they still had.
when they made the turnpike to bypass all of this,
Right.
they had to go straight through where they have those tunnels,
Yeah.
straight through the mountain, to make like a shortcut.
What they call it, Transcontinental Railroad, when they met, wherever it was they met.
Yeah.
They come from the west and come from the east.
I mean, Lincoln Highway, Route 30, was like the first across the continent, first route from the East Coast to the West Coast.
I think that was right after the Civil War, when that, like 1867, I think they finished it. Something
Like 1912 or something.
what are you talking about? The road?
Yeah, the Lincoln Highway.
Oh, I was talking about the railroad.
Okay. Yeah, I'm talking about the road.
Oh, I remember that car dealership.
Yeah.
Yeah, that old picture when they met, and the trains sitting right, right in front of each other.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah. Some of the facts about that were kind of, I forget how. I think it was like a lot of Chinese that helped them lay those tracks. But how many miles they could make in one day at times. It's like it's kind of I thought kind of amazing back in those days.
Yeah.
Driving all those spikes in by hand.
Yeah,
sledgehammers, I guess, whatever.
The amount of the crew that they had to have to get all that done.
Oh my gosh.
I can only imagine.
It makes me think of the big projects, like even when they did that with the canal down south in Central America.
The Panama Canal. Yeah.
I remember watching the History Channel about the amount of data that took.
The Hoover Dam.
Yeah, a lot of them died because of the bugs and stuff, and they got whatever, forget what, all the
malaria,
diseases and stuff, mosquitoes.
Oh yeah.
I think they had
Only imagine. That was rough. Yeah, probably dying. Getting blown up by dynamite and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, Theodore Roosevelt, when the Spanish-American War, they said he got pretty sick. At one point, they weren't sure if he was going to make it, but he survived. That was, where exactly was that? Down there somewhere. Them and his Rough Riders.
Yeah.
I don't remember enough details.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up again. Remember what all happened.
I remember him saying about him though, he only had one term, I think. And he was so popular and controversial.
Yeah.
Different things. But then he promised he wouldn't run again. But then he, like, however many years later, he regretted it. Because he wanted to run again, but he wouldn't go against his word.
Oh yeah.
But they said like he was never like the same. Because he regretted that you know.
I've seen or heard people kind of almost comparing him to Trump, the way he is, his personality and like political stances and stuff. Yeah, I forget who it was, but like I could kind of see that, you know, the way Trump is and what I've heard about, you know, Roosevelt and stuff.
Yeah, and they said, well, when whatever year that was, he considered, he wished he could have run again. They said his popularity, though, with other, politicians, I guess, his support was not what it used to be. That he didn't have the backing, the support that he used to have. So I don't know if he would have, even if he would have run, if he'd have won the second time. Yeah, so I don't, who knows? Nobody knows, but yeah. And he passed away, I think he was only 63.
Oh, really?
1919, I remember. And somebody famous made a comment, he died in his sleep because if he would have been awake, he would have went fighting or something. It said something like that. It's kind of funny when you think about it, because how feisty he was, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would have. If I was alive back then, I probably would have voted for him.
Then they showed that picture when he was just a little boy sitting in wherever it was, sitting in it's a 2-story house, sitting in the one windowsill, whoever took the picture. And down below at the door is President Lincoln standing there, and a couple other people.
Oh, wow.
But it pointed out underneath, it said, that's actually young Theodore Roosevelt sitting in that window.
Oh, really?
It's like, oh, that's so cool. That is so, oh my gosh.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
I just think
Wish I could
so cool.
have to look that up, see if I can find that
It's like
picture.
1858, I think.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't actually president yet, I guess. Yeah,
Before,
he was.
might have been when he was running for president or something.
So, he was senator or whatever at that time. Whatever. But,
Wow.
yeah. Of course, he had his big
His top
tango,
hat.
whatever they call it. Yeah, his hat on. And
I mean, I've driven past, through here many times. I never really checked into it to see what the history on it and everything.
Yeah, like you said, it's kind of
all kinds. I mean, they had many different little encampments and forts and stuff back during those days, the Revolutionary time, colonial times.
Well, Washington, what was that, the 1750s, where they battled with French
and Indian War.
Yeah, that. He was involved in that, and they made it sound like he really wasn't all that good of a, whatever his rank was. Some people weren't impressed, but of course he showed later on what he could do.
Right.
Wow.
Halfway point.
Look at that house right up against this side. This, what do you call it? That stone bank. You walk out the back door, you're like run right into it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's just kind of weird that they built a house like right there.
You're like the soil erodes or whatever. Your house is gonna be going down the side of the freaking cliff there.
Just looking at some of this stuff is a lot better than being on the turnpike.
Yeah, it's a lot more.
I don't know. It's just kind of fun to look at some of this.
A lot more scenic though this way.
Yeah.
Turnpike's just like a straight shot, boring.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you need to get somewhere in a hurry, it's good, but
yeah, you can keep your speed up.
This is more interesting, exciting to me.
It is.
Going this way.
Just looking at some of the buildings.
Taking these less traveled roads, I mean, this used to be a real... Before the turnpike, there used to be all kinds of businesses and stuff.
Oh, I bet.
People had set up stuff,
Yeah.
And then once they built the turnpike, it kind of killed.
Oh, yeah.
Because people weren't taking this way nearly as much. And
right. Makes sense.
It just kind of killed the economy, I guess.
Evolved.
When it was they built the turnpike.
Oh, God.
Trying to remember.
I just know
I want to say the 40s or 50s, maybe 60s, somewhere around there. I think it might have been like shortly before or after World War II, around that time. Around that era.
When you watch that History Channel of the presidents, which I watched a couple times, one of the big things with Eisenhower in the 50s was he's the one that really got the interstate highways.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah. He was the one that really got that going. So I don't know if that's when the turnpike,
really did some major improvements, upgrades to the infrastructure.
As far as transportation.
Yeah.
I wonder when, because they have that part that's abandoned now. I wonder when they close that off. Abandoned part of the turnpike.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I keep seeing
yeah, there's an abandoned tunnel and stuff that they closed down many decades ago.
Chambersburg.
Look at that house. Whatever happened. Yeah. Makes you want. You see these abandoned houses and you wonder, like, what?
I remember that one because driving through here, my travels to visit Crystal out in Pittsburgh. Yeah, that one caught fire.
Oh,
it was probably about like 10 years ago now. I want to say like 2012 or 2014, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one specifically because I seen it like shortly after it happened. It's like, oh man, that's terrible. Hate to be that people. just never, for whatever reason, rebuilt it.
Up around Hanover too. It's like there used to be a house there. It makes you wonder why they tear it down.
Yeah.
I mean, was it something that bad that wasn't even worth fixing? Or,
yeah, it makes you wonder.
I don't know. People were living in it.
Right.
There was one that caught fire years and years ago, right off of Mousetown Road, and I took them out and how long to tear it down because I guess it was total.
Oh yeah, I think I know.
And then I don't know how many years later, somebody went and put a house right there.
Yeah.
Same spot. It's like
I know which one here. Where that real sharp turn is.
Yeah.
It was like it looked like a farmhouse or something.
Yeah, I never.
Farm was there.
I don't know if that's just their lane or if it's actually a road. I never went back. But yeah, it's like, yeah, it's just kind of weird. All them years went by.
Right.
That might have caught fire back in the 80s or something. The one that was there, and then
kind of scary because never really been on. I mean, I never really have a whole lot of drive time under my belt, you know.
Oh yeah.
Just other than local around Hanover and York.
Yeah.
I never been on roads quite like this before, and it's like
yeah,
a little bit intimidating, but it was fun. Just like this is all brand new to me.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to expect, really. I think the one highest point further up, it's like shortly before we get to Flight 93, it's like 2,000, like 2,600 feet or something. I think it's called the Bald Knob Summit. That's like one of the highest points along. If you take 30 through here, it's supposed to be like the highest point off 30.
brakes went out or something.
I wouldn't.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't even want to try it.
No.
No,
Come up around here in the wintertime. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why they have them runaway ramps on them.
I was just
Back there further because
thinking about that.
you can't stop. You don't want
Oh my God.
to use your brakes and stuff and go over the side of the mountain. Ugh,
Gosh.
that would be terrifying.
Yeah. Breezewood 4.
You guys just want to stop in Breezewood somewhere and get
Yeah.
something to drink or eat or whatever.
I
take a
think
break.
so. Grab something to eat, grab something to eat. If you wanna.
Actually, not even that hungry right now, but might get a little something to snack on.
So all that roll we have out here. It's not
Well,
going
she
out.
said that there's a bunch of like Starbucks and they used to have a Wendy's, but that closed down years ago.
Oh,
I think Hardee's might still. Last time I was out here, like 2 years ago, it was still open, but it's hard to say. I forget. They had a bunch of other different places. There was like a diner. I don't know if that's still open though, but a bunch of hotels. This is a pretty neat view out here. You can see it pretty far. I always saw it. Pretty cool.
How's that turnpike there, I guess?
Yeah, that's the turnpike there. We're basically going over top of it. It's an overpass. Yeah. Cross. They like cross over each other.
Yeah.
30 and the turnpike right there.
Rolling hills of PA. That's a good example right there.
Yeah.
Well, like he says, even I guess Hanover, Pigeon Hills are considered the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, actually.
Yeah.
Foot, you know, nothing big. Look at some of these places, it's just junk sitting everywhere. Look at there's 6, 8 vehicles sitting there. It looks, obviously it's all grown
That's
up
been
around.
like
It's
that.
sitting there for how long?
Long, yeah, ever being 15 years ago when I first started driving out
like,
here
what the heck?
first time, and that stuff's been sitting there since then.
Oh my God, that's
Who
like
knows
that.
how long before that it's been sitting
It's
there.
like a Fort Temple or something on the way up to York Springs when Aaron and them lived up there. It's like that car been sitting there for years and years and years. Oh my God.
It's still there too, yeah.
I don't know if oh my God. I look at it every time I do it, oh my gosh. Why is that just sitting there like that?
I remember, when we would drive up to go to Tower City and stuff. There's the first few times we went that way, and it was sitting there.
Oh yeah.
Back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I had to laugh. We pretty much passed Tower City on our way up to that camp. Yeah, it's all signs for it. Kind of know where we're at now.
Yeah.
Freaking skunk.